Hey everyone, welcome to BookDeathMothTarot. My name is Red and welcome to my channel. I am super excited to be here. This is my very first video, so excuse me as I get used to the whole YouTube world and editing, and I'm just adjusting to all the extras. So hopefully you guys get to stick around and see a little bit of growth. I am new to all of this except for the reading. I have been reading for almost 8 years now. I'm also a practitioner in another sense, we'll say. But I am excited to join the whole tarot community here. I do have an Instagram page that I have been on for quite some time. I am not on Facebook. I am not on any other platforms besides Instagram and YouTube. I will tag all of that stuff below. And if you guys have interest in anything like the candles, I make those myself. You guys can ask questions about those if you're interested. We'll talk about those another time. You guys will get to learn little bits and pieces about me and my life as we, go down the road. So anywho, let's jump into today's pick a card. So today we are doing a what's coming next pick a card reading. You guys will be seeing what's coming next in your life, just in a general sense, spiritual development, love life, career, friendships, family, however you want to apply it. What is coming next? We've got pile number 1 right here with the blue calcite. Pile number 2 with the rutilated skull quartz. And pile 3 with the pink moonstone. So if you guys would like to take a second to pause the video, if you guys want to take a minute to just meditate over which energy is really calling out to you the most, we will go ahead and move forward with pile number 1. Alrighty, so if you guys chose pile 1, the blue calcite, we are going to jump into your reading. Allow me a few seconds to shuffle. I wanted to do everything on camera. So if it's a little loud, go ahead and turn your volume down. If you've got headphones on, it may be a little obnoxious. So we're going to see what's coming next. We're going to start out with a few tarot cards and then we'll jump into some oracle. I've got a few decks out and I'm just going to play it intuitively to see which ones I want to start with. So pile 1, what is coming next? First card we had flip out together was the universe, which is the world in this deck, with the revolution, which is the tower. Now with the world, this is a card of completion, things coming full circle, cycles being finished, coming to, like I said, an end. But also the world can talk about opportunities, availability, just being open to a wider spectrum of opportunities, let's say, but also closing out what is already done, what's already served its purpose. And especially with the tower, that talks about abrupt endings, not even thinking twice about it, and sometimes it's unwarranted endings, but it's also for your best interest, whether it's seen as a positive or a negative for you. It is ultimately within your best interest that those endings come full circle. Sometimes they need to be abruptly ended. Some people are a little hard-headed, myself included. So this is just really already just the 2 first cards. We're 2 cards in and it's talking both cards about endings, coming to completion. It may not always be pretty with the tower, but the tower is not also a negative card, let's say, as most people will see it as. Same with the devil. A lot of people see both of these cards in a negative aspect. And the tower can actually be very beneficial depending on what we're talking about. So let's clarify. Knight of Swords. Okay, we've got 2 that want to come out. 5 of Pentacles in reverse and the 4 of Swords in reverse. So this is talking about moving forward. The Knight of Swords is a very quick energy as well. Moving forward quickly with releasing and letting go of negative cycles when it comes to feeling supported, whether that's with family, friends, your job, life in general. This can also talk about, the 5 of Pentacles can talk about a lack mindset. So moving forward in a lighter energy with this universe letting go of that negative mindset when it comes to money, possibly, or just feeling supported and stable, let's say, feeling stable in your life. The Four of Swords in reverse, this can talk about not allowing yourself to rest, whether that is mentally, physically, emotionally, not allowing yourself to rest, to stop, to think, to clear your mind, your energy, your home even. It could be the home as well. But this is talking about not giving yourself the proper amount of time to really heal and fix those negative mindsets that you may have, or the feeling of I am not supported, or I don't have the proper people around me. You know, I don't have the job that I would prefer, or I'm not making enough money at the job that I'm at. I like my job, but it's not sufficient enough, or I don't like my job, but it pays well enough. It's not having the happy balance, let's say. And with there not being that happy balance, there is that feeling of, well, I can't rest until I get it. I can't stop until I get it, you know? And you don't want to necessarily go seeking it out, never stopping, always on the run, going. You see? This is a very fast energy. You need to slow down just a bit, in a sense, when it comes to your thought process, when processing different emotions, when processing different aspects of your life, situations in your life. Allow yourself to take a deep breath and to clearly think about what is beneficial in your life, what is not beneficial in your life, what thoughts are beneficial, what are not beneficial, and what can I do in my daily routine to fix these things, or to balance them out, in a sense, let's say. How can I counteract these negative things that are whatever I conceive as negative? How can I balance that out? With this Four of Swords, this can also talk about, I hate to say it, but for me personally, I've been reading for 8 years, and this card, when it comes out negative, or reverse, let me say, it can be seen as also laziness, or not applying your energy properly. It can stand for bad time management as well. And this is just side messages that I have picked up along the way. But ultimately, slowing down right now is going to be your best friend, because there's a lot of old that needs to be removed, obviously, before the new can come in. We all know this, but in an energetic sense, there's not space for it. You have to make space for these new things to come into your life. So if you're not seeing those results quite yet, and you're not seeing those things quite yet, and I've stopped shuffling, this is intuitive. When you're not seeing those things, you've got to manifest it in a different way. You've got to make room for it. So say you want to pick up a new hobby or a side hustle or whatever it is. Okay, so create a designated area in your home for that, or, you know, create time slots throughout your day, even if you have to get a scheduling app to do so. Create the time throughout the day and fit your routine to match what it should be, to match what you're trying to manifest. And it will come to you a lot quicker, because you're already in the groove of it. You're already making room for it. You're already acquiring the things that you need within reason. Don't get ahead of yourself. You know, do it within reason with this Five of Pentacles, of course. You know, say whatever it is that you're wanting to invest in calls for supplies. Start with the bare minimum, the very small necessities. When I started making my candles, I started with the wax, of course, my wicks, my stickers, all that good stuff. But I didn't invest too much to where if I couldn't make it work, or if I couldn't be consistent and I couldn't stick to my routine, I'm not now in the hole. You get what I'm saying? So getting in the gist of this new routine is going to be very beneficial, because once that manifestation hits you, you are ready. And also making space for it physically, in the physical world. You're manifesting it in the spirit. Now you've got to bring it on down to the physical world. That's a sure way, at least for myself and my clients. That's a sure way to help bring manifestations that have been a little slow, help bring those in a little bit quicker. Yes, we've got the Devil. We just talked about that a little bit ago. And the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Now, with this Devil, and especially with the clarifying card, the Five of Swords, the Devil talks about cutting cords with negative thoughts, negative habits, negative people, negative situations. It's really liberating and freeing yourself and reclaiming your energy with this reclamation right here. But with the Five of Swords, especially next to the Devil, it's really talking about, I'm sorry, I just hit this thing. It's really talking about being your own worst enemy. I hate to say that, but that's exactly what the Five of Swords is. It's self-imposed negative thoughts or negative views on yourself, your life, your situations, the things that you're going through on a daily. It's ultimately saying that things aren't quite as bad externally as what you could possibly be making them internally. So it's really telling you to be easy on yourself right now. We've got we've got two fives, I'm sorry. But this Four of Swords, if it were in the upright position, it's really talking about resting, taking care of yourself, knowing when to step away, knowing when to take a deep breath, knowing when to just separate from whatever is stressing you out, honestly. And here it's saying you might be the one stressing yourself out, And we have to get to a certain point in our life where we can call ourselves out on that, to see the things that we do that are not so good for us, to see the negative thoughts that we have daily. And another thing, I keep getting negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts. One way to immediately counteract intrusive thoughts is to immediately say something positive in place of it. So if you catch yourself saying, oh, I can never do this, so immediately cancel that out. I can do this, or I will do this. There's a huge difference in that. And by doing so repeatedly, within a week or two, I've seen progress, and this is myself as well, seen progress within a week or two of me just naturally doing it immediately, to where it's like, I can't even finish the full sentence. I can't finish the full intrusive thought because I'm already canceling it out with something to counteract that negative energy. So being able to call yourself out, catch yourself when you're doing it, that's really going to be very helpful for you right now to help usher in some more positive energy, to help give you that strength that you need to move forward in a positive aspect. Because a lot of this energy that we've gotten so far is a little heavy, but it is not to the point where you can't rework it. It's definitely something that can be fixed, let's say. It's workable, I'll say. And it starts with you. It's the clarifying card on the bottom of the deck is talking about being your own worst enemy. Like I said, doing it to yourself in a sense, and it's not invalidating what you're going through or anything like that. But it's also saying, hey, you need to be kinder to yourself. If life isn't being kind to you right now, you need to be kind to you. If you feel like you don't have solid people in your corner, you need to be the most solid person in your corner. Absolutely. Need to be the most solid person you have. Because the more you can stand in your strength, the more you can push through and close out cycles, finish things, get it done. The faster you get something else done, the faster you can move into the new. And you don't have to always go fast, per se, but if I can get a manifestation to come to fruition within 6 months as opposed to 6 years, I'm going to absolutely take it, So we're going to get you a few oracle cards. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on some long spiel, but I feel like you guys have really been going through it, and it's a lot of internal. But like I said, starting with just simply canceling out negativity internally, that's going to show a lot, internal and external. We've got the gratitude card. That card just flipped out as I was shuffling. Gratitude. Being grateful for where you are at now. Because right now, where you are at today, what you're doing right now, sitting here, watching this video, if you can look around you, there's at least one thing around you that you prayed for in the past, and it's here. At least one thing, if not multiple. Where I live, this city I live in, I prayed to live here for 3 years. And when I moved here, I would find myself down in just different, sporadic moments of my life. And I'd have to look back and look around, I'm really where I've wanted to be. I'm happy, life isn't perfect, but overall I'm happy where I am. you know, and just being grateful for the little things, being grateful for your shelter, the food you have to eat, the fact that you can even sit here with electricity, comfortable, phone charged, hopefully charged, and have leisure time to even get these clarifying messages. You know, all of this is somewhat a luxury, and being grateful for it, because it can always be worse. Being grateful for the good in your life right now will help bring more good. We're trying to attract more. Like attracts like. We're trying to attract as much positivity to counteract all of the negativity that you've been faced with. And it's not all your fault, of course. But when we're hit with different things, we have to do our best to fix it. If nobody else is going to do it, you're going to do it. You have to do it for yourself. You can't really expect anybody else to do it. But of course, we would want that support. If you're not feeling like you have that support through it all, Spirit is letting you know right here. We are with you. We support you. Show gratitude for that. If nothing else, you have someone in your corner, even if they're not clearly there. As you can see, there's a little bit of blur to that. But they're there nonetheless. So let's get you a few more. Traction. Master number 44. Supermoon. And change. This is 35. The Thunder Moon. Let's see, there we go. Alrighty. So with attraction, we just said like attracts like. We are attracting as much positivity as we can. And with this is also talking about the law of attraction, of course, manifesting it. The Secret is a great book to start with if you're not familiar with it. Google is also your best friend, so you can do a little researching there just to find, you know, the basics on it. But attracting more good in your life, but also being open to change. If you can see this picture, there we go. You can see she's leaping off of that moon. She is reluctantly doing so, but she is leaping nonetheless. Not being scared to take that first leap of faith into a different world, a different lifestyle, a different daily routine, a different everything if you want it to be. Because you can literally change your reality to match whatever frequency you would like it to. All it takes is the proper actions. The proper actions, an executable plan, and taking those steps, actually taking it. So that first leap might be a little scary. This first video was a little scary, but ultimately we have to do it. You know, if we want to see those results, if we want to see change, if we want our power back, we've got to do so. And you've got red here, you've got a red sash here, you've got the red here, reclaiming your power. We have to do extremely uncomfortable things, especially, you know, later in life. It doesn't get easier. If anything, it gets harder. You have to push yourself even more to do these uncomfortable things. But it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Underneath, you've got the self-reflection card. It's a clarifier, card number 17. And number 17 in the tarot deck is the star card, which comes after the tower card. Once all the old breaks away and crumbles down and is no longer in view, you're left with nothing but a crumbled at that foundation. This is talking about, you know, the star energy is talking about rebuilding something new, but rebuilding it in faith, rebuilding it in hope, but also rebuilding it in a spiritual aspect when it comes to manifesting it. The star card isn't just a hoping and wishing for the best card and just like not doing anything about it, or just kind of hoping for the best but not knowing it, let's say. The star is a card of knowing it to be true, so therefore it will manifest. This self-reflection card is showing me what you know to be true on the inside is what you know to be true externally. That's what's going to show to you. Whatever you know to be true internally is what is going to show to you externally. So if you are beating yourself up inside, and that is what you know to be true, that is what your external life is going to look like. Does that make sense? But if you're willing to push off, try something new, try to shift the internal so that way the internal will match the external, you're likely to get a much more successful outcome that you will be surely grateful for, because it is a huge difference from the energy that you were previously receiving. So we're going to pull you a few tea leaf cards. Pleasure with a close friend. Trouble and accusation. So back to that not feeling supported or like you have support. There could have been a fallout between you and an old friend, or you and like a recent friend, but it could have got a little spicy or a little hot, a little heated, let's say. Excuse me again, I'm sorry. It could have got heated, and that could have cut off the communication between you two. That could have cut off the friendship. This could have been someone who was important to you, someone who mattered to you, someone that you didn't think you would get this heated with. Things would go that far, let's say, but they did. They did go that far, and ultimately that did hit you in a way that hurt your feelings, possibly. And yeah, that is one less person that will possibly be in your life. We've got disappointment and some fair, and that fell on the floor. Yeah, cutting that cord, talking about the devil. If it's not beneficial for you anymore, that connection to this past friend or whoever, family as well, could be relationship, it wasn't good for you, and they may have said some very hurtful things that honestly can't be taken back. Real friends don't say certain things, matter not, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. They don't. And you have every right to cut that connection if you haven't already. So there's a clarifier on that. That is a separate message on its own. This is for you. Opportunities are waiting for you. Period of frustration, lessons to be learned. And reconciliation. Now, we'll go ahead and knock this pineapple out the way. Reconciliation, I'll say it, obviously it can be talking about a relationship, but it is not necessarily talking about a relationship in this aspect. I more so think it is returning to yourself. It is you returning to you, returning to who you know yourself to truly be, returning back to a more positive side of yourself. Let's say you may find yourself in better moods. You may want to get up a little earlier. You may want to start taking care of yourself a little more. I'm a mother of 3. I fall off all the time, but it doesn't mean I don't get back up. Coming back to yourself, we have to do that continuously through life. And it's okay to have those frustrations with the funnel right here. It's okay to be frustrated. And it's okay to be in the dumps sometimes, but we work through it. We get through it, and we get out on the other side, because there are doors waiting for you on the other side if you are willing to take that leap of faith with the change card. If you're ready, Spirit is ready, and they will support you. You just have to be in the energy to accept it. Okay? So I know these are brief. These videos will get longer as I get more adjusted to the YouTube world. So thank you guys so much. If you are still here, still watching, I really appreciate you. I hope you stick around. I will be pushing these out as often as I can. And I hope that this resonated with you. You guys have a good day, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you guys chose the Rutilated Skull Quartz, this pick a card reading is for you. We are going to go ahead and shuffle on camera, so if you have headphones, you may want to turn them down for a minute because it can get a little loud. It may be all right, we'll see. We're going to start with tarot first, and then we're going to jump into some oracle. So let's see what's coming next. What next for pile 2? You got the 5 of Swords in reverse. Three of Wands. Oops. Okay, these two wanted to come out. We have the Knight of Cups and the 2 of Wands. Okay. So starting out, the 5 of Swords, that came out in pile 1 actually. But the 5 of Swords can talk about being a little harsh on yourself. being your own worst enemy when it comes to certain thoughts. But also it can talk about internal battle. Is exactly what it is, an internal battle with self. And with the Three of Wands being directly next to it, it can talk about, you know, moving forward. You may have a bit of a, I don't want to say negative thought about moving forward or necessarily pessimistic, but you may not have the brightest viewpoint about what to come next. I feel like you're kind of in like the waiting zone. So it's like, not really seeing anything. I've been investing, I've been taking the time, I've been doing the things that I need to do to make this happen, and I'm kind of waiting on my ships to come in. You know, with that Three of Wands, it's waiting for something to arrive, let's say. And you may have had to wait a little bit. You may have had to wait, which ultimately waiting could have knocked down your confidence a little bit with the Knight of Cups. Because the Knight of Cups, if it were in the upright position, that would talk about moving forward, you know, what's next, moving forward with confidence. But it's in reverse, and we've also got the Five of Swords in reverse here. So it's really talking about moving forward, trying to work on your self-esteem, possibly, your self-confidence even, trying to be more optimistic when you're thinking about your future, let's say. Because the Two of Wands is talking about taking control of your life. In the traditional Rider-Waite, let's say, definition standpoint of it, it is talking about taking control, domination, you know, standing up for what you believe in, what you believe to be true, what you believe your destiny is, or the actions that you need to be taking, specifically actions. That is talking about being strong in that, standing strong in that, and doing it. So shifting your energy into a more powerful energy, if possible, you know, and that's the little things that we can do to shift that. What can I do on a daily that will help me boost my confidence, that will help me boost my self-esteem, that will help me feel a little bit stronger, that will help me stand a little taller, you know? What can I do to increase that strength within myself? And what habits do I have, or thought processes Christ, what thought processes do I have that are not conducive with what I'm trying to move into? Does that make sense? And this is really resonating with pile one, so I won't get too deep into that, but if you were stuck between pile one and pile two, I can definitely see why, let's say. We're gonna get a few more cards out. What is next for pile two? We've got the High Priestess in reverse. I'm taking the next one. And the Six of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm laughing at that in a minute. Now, with the High Priestess in reverse, that can really talk about things being unknown right now. Feeling kind of like in limbo, not really sure what the heck is going on. I hate to say it, but it can also stand for not necessarily feeling in tune with your higher self or who you know yourself to be. Again, pile one. There is a correlation, but it's slightly different. Now with the Six of Cups, like right next to it, following right after that, not necessarily knowing where you're at, let's say. That Six of Cups is really giving me hope with those flowers. You know, there's still a very hopeful energy for the future, but I feel like it's hoping for the best and not necessarily believing in it. And don't take that in a negative way, but I feel like this is intuitively. You're hoping for the best possible outcome. Who isn't? But as of right now, you feel like you've been waiting a little bit too long. You may not be getting dealt the hand that you would necessarily prefer with this Four of Cups. This is talking about not enjoying what you're being offered. Not enjoying what you are being offered. You know, so it's like, so far I keep feeling let down. I've been let down. And that could be with relationships. That can be with your job, friends, family, just anything. You could just be feeling like, man, like, I am hoping for the best. And I feel like my standards aren't god awful. Like, I feel like they're not too high, but I feel like everything that I'm getting offered, and I say this extremely humbly, but is beneath or less than what you would prefer, you know? And that can be a little discouraging when you're manifesting and trying to bring something new into your life, moving into the next cycle of your life. You're feeling like, well, I keep getting crumbs, and I'm working for the whole loaf, but I'm just getting crumbs. What am I doing wrong? So, and if it's a cycle of getting crumbs, of course you're going to expect crumbs. You know, I get it. But that doesn't matter to the universe. The universe doesn't know the difference between I know technically I should be doing X, Y, and Z, but instead I'm doing this. They can't tell the difference between what you truly mean and what you truly believe and what you're thinking. So if you're hoping for the best, and you know, technically, yeah, for the most part, everything will work out, even if I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm hoping it's going to work out. But based off of what I've been seeing in the past, I don't really expect it to work out. Well, the universe doesn't know the difference between what you're expecting and what you're hoping for. They're just going to take what you're expecting, because that's what you're expecting to see in your reality, is the same thing you've been getting. So they're going to take that as truth. The universe, they, whoever you believe in, that's what is going to be taken as truth, is what you're expecting. Does that make sense? So hoping is great. Having faith is great. But expecting the worst isn't necessarily keeping that faith. So that's, food for thought. We're going to pull some oracle to clarify. And like I said, it's not invalidating your feelings. It's not taking away from anything that you're being dealt. It's okay for you to feel like that's not what I want. We're supposed to feel like that. We've got the surrender card coming out in reverse. It's not supposed to, but in reverse. Surrender. Self-love. And the unexpected. For the love of yourself, for the love of you, you have to change this mindset. You have to change your expectations. Just because it didn't work out in the past doesn't mean it won't work out in the future, That's what's coming next for you. Changing that so that you can welcome in new energy. The unexpected. What you were getting in the past isn't what's coming next for you, as long as you do the work. You know what I mean? We've got at the bottom of the deck, we've got the acceptance card. We reach up to spirit. We reach up to spirit, and they reach down to us. As long as we accept their help and we're doing the work, they will meet us halfway. Absolutely will meet us halfway. But we have to do the work. We have to have our expectations in alignment with our faith and our hope. They all need to be in alignment for it to be true. For the universe, for your spirit guides, for your ancestors, for whoever to know it to be true. You need to believe it to be true as well. And we need to be able to meet them halfway, doing the work to change our outcomes, let's say, in whatever aspect of life you're applying this to. We have to meet spirit halfway. They can only go so far. They can only do so much for us. If we don't take that first step, they will not follow. Again, pile one. Different aspect, similar message. But you have to do the work for yourself and surrender to what spirit has in store for you, which is all of the good things if you can put yourself in that energy. All of the good things, all of the things that you were not getting in the past, all of the crumbs, they have that loaf for you. They have that loaf. They just want you to pick yourself up and try a little bit harder to do the changes for yourself. I had a card go flying, so I had to go get it. Okay. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. We are pulling tea leaf cards now, and that one was persistent on coming out. So, deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Now, however that applies to you, that applies to you. But we have the barrel with it. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Now, regardless of however you would identify, this could be talking about a friendship or relationship. You feel like that deep connection to whomever, family as well, is lacking. You're missing out on something. And that can be also talking about missing out on opportunities with people, with those around you, your circle, who you surround yourself with. You may have caught yourself being in the house more, not really feeling up to going out and enjoying yourself. That might not be a priority to you at all. But maybe you should. Maybe that's something that will make you feel good. Maybe that's something that you need to get outside of the house. Get outside of the house, get some sun, some fresh air, a different environment. You know, start doing things for yourself that you like to do. What do you like to do? Ask yourself that. Maybe it's been a while since you did something that you actually enjoyed. Maybe you need to go do something by yourself to get back in your element. Do so. Your friends and family might not be in the same alignment with you and what you want to manifest for right now, so that's okay. You may need to do a few things on your own, you know? But what do you like to do? Rejoin the world. Rejoin the world. I've gotten that message recently a few times in separate readings. Rejoining the world. Rejoin the world, but make sure that world matches what your internal world is, what you want it to be, let's say. Make sure it's matching. You're going to the places that are in alignment with what you want your future to look like. Do things differently, but also in alignment with who you are, because you are getting back to you with this self-love card. We have news on the way. News on the way. Let's clarify that. Okay. We have the key, successful outcome to your problems. So you have some news coming that will give you an answer that you will need, that will help clarify some things for you, that will solidify some things for you, but ultimately you will be feeling better once you get this news. I'm not sure what it's pertaining to. You will know sooner than later, much sooner than later. Let's get one more card. Something to do with money, something important such as a new job or a raise. So you guys may have been feeling a little off when it comes to your career or your job or just your money, you know, in general, just the money aspect of your life in general. It may be not necessarily what you quite wanted, you know, or up to your standards, let's say, up to your expectations. Whether they're rational or not, I'm not invalidating them whatsoever. They're not invalidating them whatsoever. But it may have been off compared to what you would have liked it to be. So now there is something coming in to kind of increase that luck, let's say, your prosperity, to increase it, an answer. And it says at the bottom of the bag, it says such as a new job or a raise. If you were feeling like you weren't making enough money at your current job, there's more to come, you know, or say you're commission based, there is more commission to come. Does that make sense? There is more to come. So expect it and it will come. Meet them halfway. Don't get caught in that cycle of thinking that, oh no, well, I got crumbs. Like I said, you know, I didn't get much in the past. I'm still not going to get much. I mean, it is what it is. I'll let it go, whatever, you know. None of that. We're not even going to speak that out into the universe. We're not even going to say things like that. We are going for the best. We are working for the best. We are hoping for the best. I am manifesting the best. You get what I'm saying? There is a huge difference between that. Okay? So let's see. I am being drawn to pull you one of these animal spirit cards, and the last pile did not get one, but like I said, the messages were a bit different. We went in a different route. So let's see. Infinite possibilities, the unicorn. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. This is everything and in between of what we've been talking about this reading. Listen to the spirits of light, abandon the darkness, go beyond the extraordinary and become the legendary. Self-love. Doing it for you, loving yourself enough to say, you know what, I have to do something different because I want the maximum outcome. I want the most prosperous, abundant, successful outcome that I could possibly get for myself, regardless of who's around, regardless of who is in my corner or not, regardless of what's around me. I'm doing this for me, regardless of my circumstances or my circle. You know, this is for me. I want the best possible outcome. So I'm going to do it for me. And that starts within, yet again. But changing your outlook, abandoning the darkness, okay? Infinite possibilities. You can do it. You can get the maximum outcome that you would like. But you've got to rejoin the world. You've got to regain your confidence. You've got to regain that joy within yourself to even be able to manifest such energy, okay? So get back in your groove, get back outside if need be, get some fresh air, you know, reconnect to earth if needed. That's always a good way for me to like get back in the now and to feel grateful for like where I am, is to get in nature. Like, you don't have to necessarily do the most and go on an all-day hiking spree, but you can go outside for 15 to 30 minutes and get some time with Mother Earth one-on-one, you know, and really ground yourself in the now and to be grateful for where you're at now and what's to come. Infinite possibilities. Expect the best, okay? So thank you for being here. I appreciate you for sticking through this with me. Like I said, this is my first video. I will get better, I promise. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I will be seeing you soon. I will push out as many videos as I can. So you guys have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, Pile 3. If you guys picked the pink moonstone, if I can grab it. If you guys picked the pink moonstone, this is your reading. We are going to start with tarot, and I am going to shuffle on camera, so if you guys have headphones, I might get a little loud. I might want to turn it down a bit just for a sec. We might be all right. So like I said, we are going to see what's going to be coming next, what to do next, just what next, what now. Get a few tarot cards out first. We've already got the Ace of Wands out. Get a few tarot out first, and then we'll get into your oracle. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The King of Swords in reverse. Okay, and we have the Tower, Revolution. Starting out, we're going to say, with this Ace of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, them being together, them coming out together, that is really talking about when it comes to taking the initiative or your ambition, your drive, your determination. It seems that you may still be in the same cycle of habits, physical habits though. In the previous piles, we talked about some internal habits, but this is talking about actual physical habits. You may find yourself doing some of the same repetitive actions or kind of just going through the motions with life, honestly. And with this King of Swords here in reverse, I hate to say this, but the King of Swords can have a very dry, unemotional vibe to it, and take that kindly. I am a Gemini, so I resonate with this energy. I cannot say anything at all, but it's a very dry, unamused, unenthusiastic energy, let's say. And as a Gen Z would say, coming from a millennial, this is saying it is giving bored with life. It's saying I am bored with the same routine. I am bored doing the same actions. I am freaking bored. And with this Tower being the only upright card at that, But it being the Tower, it is talking about an abrupt change. Something has to give. Something has to drastically change, and I mean quickly, for this to come to a halt. You get what I'm saying? Doing the same things, if it's not working out for you, it's not going to keep it's going to keep not working out for you. You know, you're going to keep getting the same results. And you've found yourself getting the same results because you're doing the same thing. And we know this, but sometimes we don't catch ourselves in that cycle because we're so wrapped up in it. You know, and I don't know how long this cycle has quite been for you, but regardless, you're stuck in it in a sense. It doesn't mean you're long-term stuck in it. You have been, past tense, stuck in it. Because this Tower can quickly take you out of that cycle, that routine, that non-conducive plan that you have for yourself that you have been sticking to. We have got to completely wipe the board clean. We have got to scratch everything out that we had on paper previously, and we have got to start new. This is talking about what's next. This is talking about changing your daily routine to get a different outcome. And this is changing that stalemate within yourself. And it happens. We go through moments in our life when we kind of find ourselves feeling numb or just like, I'm here, but whatever, I'm just here. You know, like they need you to really be here in your full self, your full aspect. You need to take charge. This Ace of Wands, if it were upright, that is that drive, that ambition, that go, you know, that drive that you need. And it's in reverse, and it's not saying that you've necessarily like gotten lazy or anything. It's not saying you're not doing anything. It's just saying that you're placing that energy elsewhere when you need to move the energy. You need to move it somewhere else into a different routine is what it's saying. Let's get a few more cards. We have the Sun, which is awesome. I love the Sun card. And the Seven of Pentacles. Now, talking about investing, Seven of Pentacles. What am I investing my time, my energy, my efforts into? This is talking about a lot of positive things coming next. As long as you invest in them, it's waking you up. You get what I'm saying? This is a lot of dark, reverse, you know, not necessarily dark, but the opposite side of the coin. We're flipping that coin completely with this Tower card and then coming out with the Sun right after. It doesn't get any better than that. That is the ultimate change. That is the ultimate change of energy, as long as you're investing in it. You get what I'm saying? So how can I change my routine? Everything about today's reading, everything about what's coming next for all three piles has been changing a habit or routine. So this is saying my physical actions. So what physical actions can I take differently every day to get a different outcome? Once you find it, stick to it, go with it. You get what I'm saying? Completely different. It's going to be completely opposite than what you've been doing. And that's okay. And it's going to feel really freaking weird. Like, and that's okay. We're supposed to be a little uncomfortable. If we want that complete 180, we've got to do the complete 180. You know what I mean? And this is really asking you of that. We've got the Three of Wands underneath. So you do have, you have some things on the way. You have whatever you have been long-term investing in. You may have veered off track a bit, but it's not hard to jump right back on or onto a new path that's a lot shorter. Maybe you're on a path right now that you've been sticking to for 2 years, you know, but it's taking you 2 years, whereas opposed they're trying to redirect you to this, not a shortcut because there are none, but almost a shortcut, a shorter path that's almost half the length. You know what I mean? It's a lot shorter. It's not as far out as what you're expecting it to be, but you have to be able to redirect. You have to be comfortable, well, uncomfortable or comfortable, they don't care. But you need to be able, let's say, you need to be able to redirect yourself physically. And it's really weird sometimes, and that's okay. It's gonna get weird. Let it. Because then all of those good things will come to you. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this was worth it. I'm so glad I did that. You know what I mean? I'm so glad I did something different. I'm so glad I changed where I was going on a daily. I'm so glad I was managing my time differently. I'm so glad I moved my morning routine around to where I was way more productive. You know, however you have to do it, you know, you have to physically take that step. It's not an internal battle. This is not an internal battle. We've got a little bit of an internal going on with the King of Swords, just talking about being in a stalemate, if anything else, if nothing else. But the King of Swords, upright or reversed, regardless, he still sees clearly. You still can see a clear outcome. You just have to change the route to get there. That's it. The outcome is still there. It is still there for you with this Three of Wands. It's still there. What you envision for yourself is yours. You wouldn't have the vision if it wasn't. It's still yours. You just got to redirect a bit. Things change too. So plans have to be able to change as well. You don't always have to have a plan X, Y, and Z, for Christ's sake. But like, being able to adjust a few things is always going to be very beneficial, because we can expect one thing, get dealt another thing, but we need to be ready. Always be ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay? Let's get you a few oracle cards. And if you hear my neighbor's dog, I apologize now. We've got beginnings. New moon, new beginnings. What's next? Oh, wow. Protection. Did you see that? They're carrying you. They're with you. They're going to carry you. They're going to protect you. They've got you. And I know it feels a little weird to come out of your shell, even though she's not in a shell. She is in fetal position. But she's got to sit upright. It's killing her back. She's got to sit upright, though. Like, girl, stand up, or boy, stand up, whoever, just stand up. You gotta stand up. You have to stand up and be able to redirect. It's okay to not necessarily know every step of the way, but you gotta be willing to stand up and take those steps. You got release. Releasing the old, obviously, to move into the new. But that is talking about that stale energy that I keep talking about, that stalemate, that not too excited about really anything. I don't really know. I'm not left, I'm not right, I'm not up, I'm not down. I'm just kind of in between, and moving into a much lighter energy, a much more hopeful, transformative, with the butterflies energy. It's feeling something, though. You know, you have to feel something. And I'm sorry that I have to say this, you know, I struggle myself. I do. I am the least unemotional of my friend group, just to say I am. But when it comes to strongly being invested into something, there is an emotion tied to that. There's emotions tied to that, let's say. There is a emotion tied to everything that we are fully invested in. You need to fully invest in your future to get that outcome. Because you have a vision, you have a goal, there's something that you've already been working on. And you have an you know a certain outcome. You know it's going to be prosperous, you know it's going to work for you. You're just not exactly sure what to do. But you may need to brainstorm a bit. Even if you've got to get actual paper and pen, do so. Because we've got fruition at the bottom of the deck. Fruition, bringing it into fruition. You know, I just was talking about in the previous pile. Starting with spirit, we've got to, you know, we manifest it spiritually, but we've got to bring it from spirit down to the physical world. How can we bring it into fruition? And this has the harvest moon on it. We just had a harvest moon. And we are currently about to be in harvest season as well. So, in order for me to harvest these things that are in store for me, I have to put myself in the best possible position. What will put me in the best possible position to reap my harvest, to reap my rewards? Because right now they're kind of up in the air, and I want to bring them down into my reality. Does that make sense? It's like, think of it like a ball of a manifestation, you know, a ball of energy that's just floating in the air, but you've got to catch it. You've got to catch them all, you know? You've got to catch it and bring it on down. How can I reap my benefits and get the maximum reward out of it? Because the sun, it doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't. But how can I invest my energy to get this? You know? So changing your actual like day-to-day life, like physical actions, the things that you do, make time to change it. You have to make time. Okay, so I'm not going to get too deep into this card. We're pulling a few tea leaves. This is the rabbit. I hope it focuses. Too much concern with sexual matters. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be talking about that per se, but, you know, energize your bunny. Very, very fast-paced energy. I feel like once you do figure out your new plan, because this has nothing to do with relationships, unless that's what you're applying it to, I'm not getting that energy. It may be for a few of you, but not for the majority is what I'm saying. Once you do get this new game plan for yourself to get that maximum reward, I feel like you're going to take it and freaking run with it, and you're not going to stop. Like, you're not letting up, you're not giving up, and you're going to get that reward. We've got the dolphin card here. Financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Talking about you've been working on it, and it's out there, and you know it, you feel it, you've seen it, you know it's for you, that outcome. This is the sun in the back, sun card, is talking about, or to me is reminding me of the pentacle, you know, success, prosperity, abundance, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Once you get that executable plan that is actually conducive with what you're manifesting, that manifestation is it's just gonna take off with this fruition card as well. It's going to take off, and it's going to open more doors for you, I believe. It's like you go through one door and then you get in through that one and it's successful. You get the key, you unlock the door, you get through, and then there's 2 more doors waiting for you, you know? And you just keep going, you know, and you keep pushing yourself, and you keep finding the best plan for you. You keep taking those steps. You stay in alignment with yourself. You stay excited, you know. That's how you keep those blessings coming. The door is open for you. You just got to go get it. And we've got the wall right here with misunderstanding. I feel like that is with this King of Swords, like in reverse. It's not your natural energy. I feel like you've got a little bit of a wall up right now. You're a little bit emotionally unavailable, or just kind of like I said, just is the only way I can describe it. I get like that at least once a week. I am a Gemini. I get it. But I feel like that is not you in your natural state, who you are on a 24/7 or 24/6 base, let's say. And, you know, we're allowed to be in our little, you know, getting a funk and stuff like that. But we also have to be, you know, grown enough to pull ourselves out of those funks and get back to it, you know. And this is them letting you know, especially with this tower, you know, you're going to pull yourself out of this. You're going to definitely break this wall down with the tower. It's going to come crumbling down, and you're going to immediately release that and move into positive energy. Because if you look at this half of this with the Oracle and the Tarot, it's a little heavier. Moving forward, it lightens up. You get what I'm saying? You're moving into good energy. You just got to shake off the rest. You just got to shake off the past energy. That's all. Get you a few more. It's really not that bad, honestly. Like, the other 2 groups are definitely workable. They're definitely manageable. Like, they're great. They're great. But you guys have the quickest fixable situation, let's say, because we're talking about what's coming next, and all of them have been talking about how to get into alignment to receive what's next is the common theme, is what I'm seeing. You guys will come quickly, let's say. It's not as hard as you think it will be. Persevere and you will overcome problems. Wealth, that pinnacle wealth. There is money coming. You got some money coming. And then we have this one flip out of the deck, spiritual love. So I feel like part of that plan or that routine that you're going to be creating, the new one, is going to have a portion of it, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes. It could be this 15, 20 minutes that we're spending for this. Part of it will be connecting spiritually. Part of it will be a spiritual based moment of your day in which it feeds your soul or your spirit. You know, it makes you feel good in a different way. You're receiving something in a different aspect. I feel like that's going to be something that really helps you lighten the load and helps you shake that off, you know. And it may be pick a card readings. That may be something, you know, going to different ones, different readers, different videos, and you're getting different messages, but they all are in alignment for you, you know. They all make sense. That might be something that's helping you shake off that old. Being here right now where you're at, watching this video, clarifying these things for you. But whatever it is, if that's meditating, if that's taking spiritual baths, if that's lighting candles, praying, pulling your own cards. I do my cards every day just to get a general standpoint of my day and what needs to be done. You know, everybody's different. However you want to make time for that, I feel like that is definitely a part of your routine that you're moving into. There is a time slot, let's say, for your spirituality. Because if you don't have one now, you need one. And if you do have one now, keep it. Does that make sense? So, and see, I just flipped the deck over. We've got wishbone at the bottom. A wish is granted. See, you already knew it was yours. You literally already knew it was yours. You're just waiting for it to come in. Shake off this energy. Shake it off. You really got to shake it off, because it's coming in so quick. It's going to come in much easier with less restriction or fight than what you're going to be expecting. And it's already waiting for you. It's already yours. And once you believe that too, it will be. Just taking the right steps. You may already believe it, you know it. You just were kind of in a little funk for a little bit, and that's okay. Pull yourself out like they're asking you to. I hope that you do, because that is going to be your biggest beneficial thing that you can take from this reading right now, is pull yourself out of that funk. You have to. They got you. You're protected. There's a new door just waiting. Everything that's going on is just kind of, think of it, you know, it's just a misunderstanding. It was just a little bump in the road. We're out of that now. Back to not our regularly scheduled program. Back to our new program, okay? So I hope this helped you guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Like I said, this is my first video. If you made it this far, I'm super excited that you were here with me. Thank you so much for being supportive. I hope you come back, and I will push out as many of these readings as I can. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.